Doing? Okay. Whew, happy Tuesday, guys. Happy Tuesday. How are we all doing? I hope that we're all doing amazing. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Come right in. Let's talk about a few important things. My name is Katie, and I'm a licensed financial professional out of the great state of Texas. So come right in. Let's see. Let's see. Come in. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Come right in. Come right in. Let's have a chat. Come in, guys. Let's have a chat. Let's talk a little bit about some important things. Let's talk about some important things. Okay. Come in, guys. Let's have a chat. Come in, let us have a chatty. Let's have a chat. Happy Tuesday, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you're coming in from. My name is Katie, and I'm a licensed financial professional out of the great state of Texas. So I am in Texas in the United States. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Today, I want us to look at a few things, when it comes to income replacement, comes to income protection, okay, and generational wealth. And I also want to talk about probate. Okay, I want to talk about probate. So put in the comment section. Let me see where you are. If you're in the United States, what state are you in? I also want to talk about a financial opportunity, right? So for those of you who are looking for a cash Christmas, for those of you who are looking, you don't want to max out on any credit card anymore this Christmas, you're at the right place. God just answered your prayer. So you know how we pray and pray and pray, and then God sends an opportunity your way. I just missed it, right? So there are three things that we all need income to do every single day. And without an income, of course, we cannot afford food, we cannot afford shelter, and we cannot afford good health. Do we agree? Yes. If you agree with me, let me know. Without income, you cannot afford shelter, you can't afford good health, and you can't afford what? Feeding. So the basics of life, you need income. Now, when we talk about income replacement, have you ever thought about the fact that if you could no longer go to work, what are you going to do? Right? For some of you who say you have, insurance at your job, the moment you can no longer go to work, guess what? If you lose your job, you lose that insurance as well, correct? So that's why I'm so passionate about income replacement. You need to make sure that you and your family have a plan in place that replaces your income and make sure that you can continue to afford for the basics of life in the events of sickness, in the events, you know, that something happens, God forbid. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. But the truth is, so many people don't know. So many people don't know. So many people don't know. So many people don't know because how many times do we sign things? We just sign, put our signatures on things that we don't really understand, right? We don't really understand. And then we try to start understanding on the day that we really need it. So we want to do better as a community. Okay, we want to do better as a community. Okay, so that's why we talk about income replacement. So my question to you is, with whatever you have in your bank account right now, how many days forward can you survive if you stop working today? I need you to pause and answer that question, right? How many days forward? Hi, Ase, how are you doing? Where are you tuning in from? What state are you in? Please, if you're here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're talking about income replacement. My name is Katie, and I'm a licensed financial professional out of the great state of Texas. I'm not in Dallas, I'm in Austin. Okay, what are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Ase, where are you tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from? Let me know where you are tuning in from. I am in Texas, United States. Where are you tuning in from? We want to talk income replacement because it's so important. People work so hard, but if anything, God forbid, for any reason they could not go to work, now we have a problem, right? There's a big issue with that picture. Huge issue. Huge issue. And that is why when someone gets sick, there's a GoFundMe, right? Someone passes away, there's a GoFundMe. But what about we all could just have a plan in place, right? What if we all could just have a plan in place? Okay. What if we all could just have a plan in place? So every family in the United States, need an income replacement plan. You need an income replacement plan. You need an income replacement plan. Thank you so much, Carlton. Thank you for your kind words. You need an income replacement plan. Okay. You don't want to just leave and work, work, work because you're not always going to be strong. So that's the first question to think about, right? That's the first question to think about. With what you currently have in your bank account, how many days forward can you survive if you stop working today? Think about it. Because now everything looks great. You're getting a paycheck maybe every 2 weeks, right? You get a paycheck every 2 weeks, so everything is perfect. But have you ever wondered, what if you cannot go to work? That's question number two. What if the reason you cannot clock in at work tomorrow or open that business tomorrow is due to sickness? What if it's due to sickness? What if you're unwell? So it's not because you don't want to go to work. It's just because you couldn't go to work. Not because you just want to sleep and party, but because you're genuinely unwell. What account do you have that will replace your income? What account do you have that will maintain your lifestyle? Take care of your bills whilst you focus on getting better. Because we all know in America, guess what? It's business as usual. Nobody cares. Whether you're well or you're not well, it's business as usual, right? Mhm. It's business as usual. Whether you're well or you're not well, it's business as usual. So, what plan do you have? What account do you have? Is it going to be a GoFundMe if something were to happen? Is it going to be a GoFundMe? Or is it going to be a GoFundMe? Is it going to be a GoFundMe? What plan do you have? If you could no longer provide shelter, food, health, what plan do you have? Mm. If you could no longer provide for shelter, health, and the basic necessities of life, what plans do you have? Because everybody needs a plan, you know. Everybody needs a plan. Everybody needs a plan. So, question number two for you. If the reason you can no longer go to work was as a result of sickness, what plan do you have that will replace your income? Number three, is being sick a matter of if or a matter of when? Is being sick a matter of if or a matter of when? Is being sick a matter of if or a matter of when? Is being sick a matter of if or a matter of when? Third question for you. If you and I agree that we're all going to get sick because as we age, things start to ache in our bodies, right? If you agree with me that being sick is a matter of when, my next question to you is when that when happens, what plan do you have? What account do you have? Is it going to be a GoFundMe? Because the mission here is no family left behind. Because we want to, this GoFundMe thing in our communities, 10,000 GoFundMe in our communities every single year, there has to be a way out, right? Someone takes ill, there's a GoFundMe. Someone passes away, there's a GoFundMe. Come on, guys. Like, what's going on? Okay. What's going on? We have to do better than that. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? So it's not always because the person who passed is broke. Mm-mm. It's not because maybe the person who took ill was broke. It's just because when you come down critically ill or chronically ill, it drains every penny out of you because it's expensive. Because then if you can no longer go to work, guess what? Are you still gonna have your health insurance? You're not gonna have your health insurance. So you're either gonna have to pay or you get crumbs, like I call it. You get crumbs, right? You get the bare minimum, you know. And of course, when you're critically ill, you really want the best because you want the best shot or the best chance of you getting better, right? Now, if you can answer those questions for you and yourself, what about having financial power of attorney, medical power of attorney? Where are my couples? You know, if you're a couple, you need to look at yourselves and ask yourself this question. Honey, I know we love ourselves very much. Both of you are supposed to be able to answer this question, right? If one of us were not to be here today, can the other person be able to take care of the children or whatever responsibilities that you guys have going on, right? Without any problem. If you cannot answer that question, I've seen couples where I ask them the question. So, in the event of a sickness that kind of, incapacitates you for a short period of time, does your spouse have medical power of attorney? Does your spouse have financial power of attorney to make decisions on your behalf? Because just because you're married doesn't mean that it's automatic, because it's not. Right? Haven't you seen situations where a spouse would tell maybe law enforcement, don't disclose this thing to my spouse, and they have to respect that. So just because you're married doesn't necessarily give room for that. Just because you're married doesn't mean that they have to just divulge information like that without the other person's consent. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, right? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So if you're a couple and you don't have financial power of attorney, you don't have medical power of attorney, that's something that you really need to talk about. What about if you're somebody who have assets? Are you a homeowner? If you're a homeowner, do you have a trust? Do you have a trust? Because otherwise, you're gonna have to deal with probate, right? And guys, go and ask anybody who's ever been through probate. They will tell you. If you know anybody who's ever been through probate, or just Google, do me a favor. Go to Google, right? And Google the nearest probate court to where you live. There's always one between 10 and 15 miles from where you live. Just go there on your off day, a day off from work, and just go listen. You will be amazed. The things you would hear in that court, you'll be like, okay, I need to put a plan in place. So if you don't have a plan that avoids probate, I don't know what to tell you. You need a plan that avoids probate. Okay. What about your children going to school without taking student loans? Yes, I do believe that every child should be able to go to school and graduate without being trapped in the debt of student loans. That's what I do believe that every child deserves that. 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 So if you want to know more, just put income replacement in the comment section, and drop me your email address, and I'm going to reach out to you. I can do a 15-minute consultation with you just so that we can look at, what's what. And, so when you think about your financial future, what comes to your mind? When you think about investments, what comes to your mind? When you think about the financial future of your children, what comes to your mind? When you think about generational wealth, what comes to your mind? Right? So these are all things to ponder about. When you think about your investments and how you can protect your assets, protect your wealth, what comes to mind? When you think about lawsuits, what comes to your mind? So if you want to know more, you want, a free session with me, put income replacement in the comment section and I'll be happy to get back with you. Put more information and put your email address and I'll get back to you. I'll schedule a 15 minutes free consultation with you. I'll show you a few things and then I can answer your questions. Every family needs to make sure that they have a plan in place so that we're not dealing with GoFundMe in our communities. In the event of sickness, in the events that you pass away, what's going to happen to your assets? Just so you know, it doesn't transfer to your children. Everything gets frozen, all right? Because in America, it's business as usual. It's business as usual. If you don't have a response to what account do I have that's going to bail me out in the event that I cannot work, then you and I need to talk. If you and your spouse cannot answer whether who has power of attorney, medical or financial power of attorney over each other, then I'm happy to sit down with you and show you how. So have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Till then, take care and make sure you answer those questions and be intentional about it, okay? Because you just never know, right? You just never know, but every family needs an income replacement portfolio. So till then, take care and I'll see you soon.